You're in tune to Chicago's most popular college music radio station. 89.3 is WKKC. This is Focus Talk, the thought-provoking, solution-oriented talk show daring to make a difference in our communities. We're talking on a regular basis because the answers really matter. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about politics, religion, personal development, education, history, music, and then from time to time, we are spotlighting positive people who are doing positive things right here in the Inglewood community, throughout the Chicagoland area, as well as the entire United States. I'm your host, Dennis Snipe. Joining me in the studio today is Mr. Christopher Kennedy Passaretti. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did. Christopher Kennedy Passaretti.
How are you today, sir?
I'm wonderful. I'm so excited. I'm really, truly looking forward to having this conversation with you and all the listeners, in hopes that we will have this conversation with friends and families about discussing hearing loss prevention.
Okay. Now, give me some information, Chris, on who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a Chicago transplant from New York City. I'm promoting hearing loss prevention. I'm here to educate people about how to preserve and protect great hearing for the rest of your life. There's absolutely no reason to put yourself at risk. There is protection out there. It is high-fidelity earplugs. When you are at a concert, when you're mowing your lawn, if you're in a marching band, at a sporting event, NASCAR, NBA, you are in an environment that is dangerous.
Okay.
And you need to protect yourself.
So now, for the most part, most people think that hearing loss issues would just be regulated to seniors, but that's not true.
No, that's a very common misconception that hearing loss is associated with the elderly. It is a common part of growing old, and that's not true at all. Hearing loss starts very early, when you start going to loud school dances, when you are in a pep rally, you're going to sporting events, concerts, race car, anything that is extremely loud, you're at risk. And that's unfortunately starts early because there's a lack of education out there for the general public. It is a public health crisis that is going to affect anyone from a child to a baby boomer to older.
But how do you get around it, Chris? Because for the most part, you have loud situations all around, whether, like you mentioned, at a school dance, or if you go to a concert, or you can just be on the street. There are jackhammers and construction. There's a lot of different things that could possibly contribute to hearing loss. So how would you kind of take the edge off of that?
Well, a common product would be foam earplugs. They're disposable, but what they do is they muffle the entire experience in sound. What you need is high fidelity ear protection. These are earplugs that will regulate and even out the sound, the decibels. With decibels, the higher they get, the quicker you are at for hearing loss. So if you're mowing your lawn and you do not have hearing protection, you're good for about 2 hours. So if you have a large lawn, you're in trouble. But most people go to a sporting event, and within 4 minutes of a loud sporting event, you are going to be exposed to hearing loss. The NFL stadiums is a perfect example. World record battle broke out between the Chiefs and the Seahawks over who had the loudest stadium. And at some of these peaks hit 142.2 decibels. And although it doesn't have to be a world record holder to be deafening, NFL games average around 100 decibels.
So 142, you said 142?
Yes.
Point 2 decibels. So that's about as loud as?
That's about as loud as a jet engine.
Oh, wow.
So a normal sporting event would be about 106 decibels. And again, you have 4 minutes before that starts affecting your hearing loss.
Okay.
So you put in high fidelity earplugs and you're good for 6 hours. They will even out the sound waves, and you will be able to hear the concert, the sporting event clearer, crisper, and better, and enjoy the time that you're there, and safely.
Now, earlier you mentioned that this is an epidemic, but you don't get a lot of information about hearing loss and what causes hearing loss. Why is that?
It's because due to a lack of education and awareness. I'm trying to start a revolution to educate people, make them aware that you are in danger. Nobody is sending this message. if you wear earplugs, things will sound better, and you will save yourself from music-induced hearing loss. People wear helmets on bicycles and motorcycles to protect themselves. They wear umbrellas in the rain, sunblock at the beach. It's the same concept. And people do that because they're educated at a young age or at some point in their life, and that is just not happening here with your hearing. And I love music. From a young age, I started listening to music. I don't play an instrument. I'm not in a band. But I love music just like everybody else.
All right.
I'm your average, everyday person who goes to concerts, and I didn't realize being in those clubs and bars or baseball games that all of that noise is slowly tearing away at my ability to hear things and enjoy life.
So now, Chris, at what point can or should an individual begin to use the high fidelity earplugs?
Well, hearing loss prevention starts with bringing hearing protection to where and when people need it most. And that is where it is loud. So where and when you are in a loud place is where you have to start. And that could be anywhere, especially for extended periods of time.
So if you've experienced some hearing loss already, will that help to restore your hearing, or it will just stop from any further hearing loss?
Once your ears have been affected by hearing loss, it's virtually impossible to get your hearing back. And I was actually inspired by a friend of mine, Carolyn. She was a DJ, and this is where the roots of my passion for this company came from. She was a founder of a company I'm involved with, and she personally experienced noise-induced hearing loss as a DJ and band manager. And over time, she is now declared legally deaf. And some words really rung and struck a chord in my heart and a chord in my ears. No pun intended, pun intended. Music, she said, music has always been a part of my life, even more so when it took away my hearing. And that just kind of gave me the chills, because when I heard that and heard about, and she educated me, and I'm here to spread the word as well, that when you protect your hearing with high fidelity earplugs, you're safe and you can go on and enjoy music, because I would never want to not have music in my life. And I feel that everyone out there listening is listening to the radio for that very same reason. They love hearing music and enjoying it. And there's a good way and a right way and a wrong way to do this. And people are just not educated on it.
Okay. So now at this particular point, your campaign for protecting your hearing, how has it been received thus far? It's
been received with an overwhelming embrace. I'm educating. We're starting a revolution to inform people of this. Anyone who hears about this product realizes how discreet it is and the benefits of it is all on board. I have not had one person say, "Oh, I want to lose my hearing. I love music, but when it's over, it's over. When the track's over, it's over." No one has ever said that to me. Everyone says, "How do I get some? How do I get protection? I want to enjoy music." And as soon as they do, as soon as they put them in, they say, "Wow, this experience is better than it was with just the naked ear." Yes.
I guess that's a testimonial in and of itself.
It sure is.
That if it's better, the listening experience is better with the high fidelity earplugs than it is without, then that's, what else can you say?
I've many times been stuck at a bar, having a beer, talking with someone, and you can see their mouth moving, and you have no idea what they're saying because it's so loud. And you put these earplugs in, and it's magical, where the whole rest of the bar quiets down. You can have a conversation, and yet you can hear the music. All of that muffled noise is pushed aside.
Now, what about the person that you're talking to?
As long as they're wearing hearing protection,
they can hear you as well.
Yeah, we're tuned into each other.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, how do they work in, now do they, or better yet, I guess the better question would be, do they work in tandem with maybe your headset or with your iPod or with any other devices?
That's a great question, and I get that question a lot.
Okay.
When you have a personal music device, you also have control of the volume. So when you're in that situation, you're in the driver's seat. You control the volume, you control your hearing. So many people are put in an environment that they cannot control. I often talk to schools about their sports programs, and the football team gets helmets and pads and shoulder pads and everything they need to protect their bodies. And I try to explain to everyone that the marching band has no helmet, has no protection for their ears, and they really need to have high fidelity earplugs.
And so that would help them as well.
It would save them a lifetime of hearing loss.
Okay. So now have schools and colleges got on the bandwagon so that they will be able to help the participants in the band to protect their hearing? Absolutely.
Schools are some of the most important places to start. They've embraced this product of high fidelity earplugs because I was able to educate them, and schools are an institution of education. They love it.
Okay. So now, here's the other side of that particular argument, Chris. How soon can someone start wearing them? Can maybe the small children or even the babies start wearing them so that their hearing can be protected and then preserved as they get older?
That's another great question, and I did look into that. I recently became an uncle. I have a lovely nephew, Cody. He's about 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
And I looked into that because of that. At a young age, with anything small, and these high-fidelity earplugs are small, there's a choking hazard.
Right.
At an age like that, I recommend earmuffs to just drown out most of the sound, because they're also not at an age where they can truly enjoy it. With anything, a toy that's recommended 3 to 5 or 6 and over, that's when you want to start protecting your child's hearing, especially if they're at that sporting game, if they're at watching the Cubs or the Red Sox or whatever team they root for. That's when you want to start hearing protection, because the last thing you would want is to have an item small enough to choke on.
Mm-hmm. Now, we kind of touched on this earlier. Now, in this day and age, you see everyone with their headsets on.
Yes.
They have their earbuds on, and they actually have it in their ears.
Yes.
So now, would that be the same? Well, I guess as you mentioned earlier, you're able to control the volume.
Yes.
So would that be a little different?
Yeah, again, you wouldn't be able to put in high-fidelity earplugs in your ears and then have earbuds or headphones, because there's just not enough room in your eardrum. But you do have the control of the volume. Okay. So you're in the driver's seat again. Whether you want to buckle your safety belt or wear that helmet on a motorcycle, bring that umbrella out in the rain, wear sunblock at the beach. With hearing protection, you need to be educated, and then it's a personal choice. It's a personal product, so it's a personal choice.
Okay. Now, are there any other aspects of hearing loss or hearing or prevention that we haven't talked about?
We've basically covered most of the points that I wanted to discuss today.
Okay.
I would definitely recommend that you start early. There's nobody sending this message, and I feel really passionate about this. Mm-hmm. High fidelity earplugs are a labor of love for me and the people I work with. Things will sound better, and there's no reason why you shouldn't save yourself from music-induced hearing loss when you know that there is protection out there. You should not put yourself at a risk.
Now, this is a question that I did not ask you, Chris.
Yes.
How did you get involved as far as this particular labor of love, or even holding the banner for hearing loss prevention?
Well, I'm proud to hold the banner now. And I got involved because, like many people, I would drive around in my car and blast my radio. I would go out on weekends to nightclubs and bars. I would go to the sporting events. I would go to the summer festivals. And I was naive. I had no idea what I was doing to myself. I thought that the loud music was part of the experience. And I had no idea that the loud music was so detrimental to my hearing and my life. And over time, it will produce hearing loss, and that's why it's not associated with being old and elderly. It is associated with your exposure to loud music and noise. And when I heard about hearing protection through my business partner Carolyn Travis and Derek Weglars, it was an easy sell, and it's something that anyone who hears about it and looks into it realizes, I need that, I want that, because I want to hear music, I want to enjoy it, and you actually hear it better. It's clearer. The sound is actually more pleasurable. High fidelity earplugs evenly across the sound frequency. That's how they work. They block out the bad noise, lower the decibels so that your voice remains clear and the sound remains pleasurable.
All right, sounds good. Christopher Kennedy, Passaretti, thank you so very much for coming and sharing your passion with us. We wish you the best in your endeavors. And please know that the door here at Focus Talk is always open. You don't have to knock. Just come on through.
Excellent. I look forward to meeting with you again and having this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're in tune to Chicago's most popular college music radio station, 89.3 WKKC.
You're watching Focus Talk TV with your host, Dennis Snipe.
Subscribe to the Focus Talk TV YouTube channel. Follow at Focus Talk TV on Instagram and Twitter, and join in on the conversation on the Focus Talk TV Facebook page. And in the meantime, remember to stay focused.